Welcome to Read Your Comics. Today I'm looking at What If Donald Duck Became Wolverine. Alright, we got a fun one on tap today. Maybe even a little bit goofy. Wink, wink. But before I dive into it, I just want to say thanks to all the viewer support. Every like, comment, and subscription is appreciated. And if you're enjoying positive comic content, please consider hitting thumbs up. Comments are always encouraged, and if you haven't already, why not hit subscribe so you never miss another video. So I gotta say, I'm a sucker for this Disney Marvel amalgam, if you will, because I started out last year. I don't buy variant covers, let me just say that, but I bought these Disney 100 variants. They're actually all Amazing Spider-Man inside, which it's kind of annoying. They should have at least coincided with the books. And it started with this FF one. I got this one first, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get the whole set, right? So I had to go back, and I had to get this one. Then this one came out, and this one. I knew this one was on tap, and I had to have that one. Just had to have it. So when I knew that I had to have the FF one and the Goofy one, at that point, I was all in on the whole set. So these are pretty neat. My only complaint was they were on Amazing Spider-Man, and I think they would have been a lot of fun actually doing these books with these characters. Now, it ended with this one, but it's continued on this year. They're doing the Avengers 60th anniversary, pretty cool one there, and X-Men. I'm not getting this whole set, but I did pick up these few right here. I kind of gave up on it, but I am a sucker for it, right? So when they finally put out one that was really the story inside, this is not a Amazing Spider-Man issue. This actually is a what if story with Donald Duck and stuff. I was like, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. There's one coming out with Thor too, and I want to say there's a Minnie Mouse one as Miss Marvel on tap, but I'll definitely get the Thor Donald Duck one as well, and hopefully they end up doing a Goofy Hulk one. That would be that would just bookend with this one so perfectly. But this is fun. This is what comics are meant to be. Kind of just fun. That's all I can say about it. It's just fun, right? You got the homage cover to the Wolverine #1 miniseries from 1982. He's got marshmallows on top of his claws as kind of a gag, right? And we're going to jump right into it. I'm not familiar with any of these creators. Just kind of look over their names. None of them ring any bells to me. I like this opening page design, though, with the, the original Wolverine cover it's parodying, and then itself over here. Notice the Fantagraphics ad for the Carl Barks and Don Rosa stuff. Even this Darkwing Duck, which is it IDW, I think, that puts out a Darkwing Duck book now. I'm not 100% sure on that, but anyway, I just thought it was interesting that their opening ad was, Fantagraphics for the Duck stuff, right? Now, what I'm going to say as I dive into this, I've really just kind of gotten into Barks, Don Rosa, Duck books. I knew about them before. I knew about Carl Barks and his greatness, but I'd never really tried to explore it. And, I was a big cartoonist kayfabe watcher, and they finally pushed me to like, okay, I need to kind of read that stuff. And it's so good. It's wonderful. I have a video of the latest Uncle Scrooge book by Marvel as well. So, I wouldn't say I'm all in on that stuff, but I'm definitely exploring it more, and I really enjoy it, and I really appreciate the cartooning in it and just the comics history behind it. I do know some people that are big Barks fans that are all in Barks, Don Rosa fans. I'm curious about their opinions of these new Duck books, because as we get into it, I think it's a very enjoyable book, but aside from just the Marvel mashup aspect of it, the art style and everything is quite a bit different from what Barks and Rosa have established. I mean, you look at these panels here and just the tightness of everything in it. This is going to be drawn more like a traditional modern Marvel comic. But it reads really fast, so let's go ahead and jump into it. You got Pete as the Red Skull. I think they call him Red Pete in this, and he's kind of taken over DUCKBURG, and his headquarters is now Uncle Scrooge's money bin. He's got the Beagle Boys kind of running amok, and the setup for this story is a little bit of Old Man Logan in a way. So Donald Wolverine, or Donald Logan, I guess they'd call him, is, I guess he's retired. And he wants to just take naps and stuff. Look at his gloves right there with the the little claw channels. And I don't know this Grandma Duck character. Did she appear in the Barks and Rosa stuff? I don't really. I've not read enough to have seen her anyway. And here's Hawkeye showing up, kind of like an Old Man Wolverine. You know, old Man Hawkeye shows up. Of course, he was blind, and he's there to get Logan to join him on this mission. But you know, he doesn't want to. Love this look of Mickey in the Hawkeye outfit. My kids are looking at this going, why is he Mickey? Like, why is Hawkeye Mickey? I'm like, I don't know. It's just a choice they made for the book, right? So Mickey's there to get Donald Wolverine, which I do love how they did his hair feathers to look like Wolverine's hair, to come, and he's like, nope, I'm not doing that anymore. And he's even like, I'm a changed man. I don't have a bad temper at all. And so he uses an arrow to make an apple fall on his head. I like how it's already got the bandage when it hits, and the lump comes up. You wicked talented archer, I'll not so sure anymore, are you? Like, I mean, I hear Mickey and Donald's voices when I read this stuff, so. But as I was saying, like, the panel layout here is more traditional comic than what Barks Rosa does. Much more grid structured. So then they kind of do a little reliving of Wolverine's origins, sorta, kinda, not exactly. This isn't exactly Weapon X. This is Gyro trying to help Donald with his temper, and by doing this, basically this is more like a virtual reality machine of annoying him to like help him control his anger by showing him things like his annoying neighbors and getting stuck in traffic and so forth, which sets him off into a Donald Duck fit of rage, and he goes stomping off into the snow. just like Weapon X, right? And we get to relive more of that stuff. So he goes out to do some chores on the farm, still trying to prove that he doesn't want to leave the farm. He slicing up rocks into little pebbles so that it's easier to move. Work smarter, not harder, right? And Grandma apparently makes these pies. Again, is that like a big thing that Donald and Grandma Duck, who doesn't really look very grandma-ish, is that like a thing for them? Like Donald and eating pies? I don't remember that about Donald. Anyway, Mickey-Hawkeye convinces him to go, and you get this pretty cool double-page splash of Donald remembering all his adventures as Wolverine. And there's some fun ones in here. You've even got the Fang costume, the new X-Men one, even Feral Wolverine, right? There's the brown, which he should have had the brown on the cover. They put him in the yellow costume on the cover to mimic the Wolverine #1. I don't know why they didn't do the brown costume. Yeah, that one's. It's just funny that even the feral Wolverine got included. He should have had bone claws though, right there. So he finally decides he's gonna go. So Hawkeye Mickey has a surprise for Donald. He's got a partner, and lo and behold, it's Goofy Hulk. So I love that Goofy Hulk makes an appearance in this book after this cover. Like I said, this one and the FF one are really what sparked me into even getting these variant covers. So super cool that we get some Goofy Hulk in this. Except he's gray here, and they mention that he's gray, and that kind of plays into the overall story. Look, you got the Wolverine #8 homage right there. You gotta love that. You gotta love all the little comic nerdy fan things that are sticking into this. So they talk about Goofy Hulk keeps saying we're friends, and Donald is saying no, we aren't friends. And they recount their first visit where Donald's napping. That's a big thing with Donald. He likes to nap. Green Goofy Hulk comes up and wakes him up because he wants to know the way to Toronto. And Wolverine tells him it's that way, but he goes the other way. He's like, I thought you were going to Toronto. He's like, I'm not going there. I just wanted to know which way was the right way. Which irritates him because he was napping. So they didn't even have a fight, but you get a recap of their first encounter, so to speak. You get some giant size X-Men #1 where Pluto is Colossus, and he gives him a kick as like a fastball special. I couldn't tell if this was actually supposed to be some other Disney character or if it's they just made it a monster of looking like Krakoa. Pretty neat looking. Either way, I do dig the art in this. I don't think it's as tight and as controlled as the Barks Rosa stuff. I just don't see it, but that's why I'd be interested to hear what a Barks Rosa purist, how they feel about this. So they go to the money bin. There's the Beagle Boys, and there's no fight here. They get captured and brought in front of Red Pete. I think they call him Red Pete. Oh, Pete Skull. They're calling him Pete Skull. And he's got all the heroes' weapons, which that's the big thing, is like they're going to stop Pete Skull from getting the weapons. You got Goofy Hulk chained up. Like, what's all that about, right? Oh, up here too, where it's playing into it, why Goofy is green, Goofy Hulk is gray, is because they mention in here that he just hates green. They say it right here. Just admit it. You hate green. And he's like, no, I don't. No, I don't. So that's the big catch here. Goofy Hulk turns himself green and busts out of the chains. Mickey-Hawkeye has this like green paint bomb, and he just like hits and splatters everything green, essentially just to set Donald off into a rage. Look at that splash page. That's pretty awesome. My only complaint here is that he's in his Donald Duck outfit. Why is he not in a Wolverine costume? He's Donald Duck with Wolverine's kind of, hair shape and claws. He should have been in some kind of Wolverine costume for that part. I do love that splash page, though. So the green sets him off. He goes in the rage. This is a missed opportunity to do the Mike Zeck Wolverine versus Captain America shield image. And he essentially, ends it. He runs them all off. Pretty cool there, too. Panel. This whole, panel right here is pretty good. And Goofy's quickly painting himself gray again because he doesn't want to keep ticking off Donald. And that's kind of how it ends. He's like, everything goes back to normal with him polishing the coins for Uncle Scrooge, who's saying, you owe me a lot of money for all the damage you caused when you saved the money bin from Pete Skull. So it reverts back to Donald being Scrooge's lackey, more or less. Then you get some character designs here, and it's pretty cool. This is what I'm saying. He should have been in this outfit for that crazy splash page, right? You got the different costume designs there, which we saw on the other splash page. Different Pete Skull designs. There you've got Goofy Hulk. Proportion, I guess, is what they're trying to say there. Colosso. The artist must be a Spanish-speaking person. And here's the Donald Duck one as Thor coming out. Looks like in September, so maybe by the time you see this, that'll be out. My comic shop, and they don't carry a ton of shelf copies, but they definitely still had several of these. So I think it's been a pretty well-received and ordered thing. If you missed out on it when it came out a few weeks ago, just check your LCS. They might still have copies, and if not, it should be fairly easy to come by right now. I don't think it's some crazy FOMO book or something ridiculous like that, but it's a fun one. If you're a Wolverine fan, you kind of need this. You need this in your collection. You may not need that Thor one, but you need this one. So until next time, read your comics. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my breakdown of this issue, you can support the channel by hitting subscribe. It costs you nothing and helps other comic fans find the channel. You can also visit readyourcomics.com for cool merch, like this. Read Your Comics isn't just a brand, it's a mantra. And when you wear a Read Your Comics shirt, you are helping spread the word. For more classic comics conversation, be sure to follow me on Instagram at read.your.comics. And if you're still here, why not watch one of my older videos? Here or here.